Let's get a feeling for how it feels and how it sounds to play notes in groups of 2, 4, and 8 in a row with I've Got a Feeling by the Black Eyed Peas. Before we start, let's have a look at how we present the information in Synthesia. This exercise works best in falling notes view from the cog menu. So that's the falling notes there, and then we drag in the keyboard view underneath it with the toggle there. And I like, for the labels, I like to have the finger hint numbers on the keys, and I think it's nice to have the simple names, alphabetical names on the falling notes. The finger hint numbers will imply that you should use finger 1 on the left hand, because it's always good to get the thumb on if you can, and fingers 1, 2, and 3 in the right hand. But if that's too much to think about at the beginning, just have a go with one finger in each hand, or just one hand, whatever you find easiest to begin with, because sometimes when we're learning something new, it's actually better to just think about one thing at a time rather than fingers and everything else. So the thing we need to focus on today is counting. Okay, so these are the counts in the piece. What we're going to try doing is I'm going to count first and you're going to copy it. We're going to get the feel of what it feels like to count just 4 in a row, or 2 in a row, or 8 in a row. So here we go. After me, can you count to 4? I'll go first and you go immediately after. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Your turn. And can we try counting to 2? Me first, then you. 1, 2. Good. And then me again. 1, 2. Excellent. Here's the big one. We count to 8 in a row. I'll go first, and then once I've got to 8, you copy. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well done. Let's try it again. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Excellent. And one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well done. Great. So let's look at how those numbers overlap onto the piece. Well, here we are back looking at falling notes view. You can see that first number, that first count of 4 correlates to 4 Ds in a row. Okay. And then after that, there are then 2 Cs. That's for the 1, 2, and 2 Bs. We'll see those as we go through. So what we're going to do this time is I'm going to count first, and then you're going to copy that count at the same time as I play the notes. Okay, so do what we just did. I'll count first, then you copy. Are you ready? Here we go. Me first. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's try 2. 1, 2. And 2 again. 1, 2. Now, let's count to 8. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Eight again. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And one more group of 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well done. How was that? So you can see that those numbers correlate to the number of repetitions in the piece. Now, once we get used to that counting, we've got to fluently get everything to move together. So we've got to get those counts to go one after the other counting straight through all of this with no breaks. Should we give that a try? Count to 4, to 2, to 2, and then to 8 3 times. And I'll count along as well. Are you ready? All in one go. I'll give you a little counting of 4. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. How was that? Kind of tricky, isn't it? So there we go. That's what you need to practice. So you can play along with Synthesia in this view. If that's a bit tricky, you can just try playing the notes, and your grown-up can help point out where those groups of notes are. And also, grown-ups, you can help by supporting that counting. So children, while you're playing, grown-ups, you can be there doing the 1, 2, 3, 4 and reminding what all those groups of notes are. Now, hopefully, after that, you'll begin to get a feel for what it's like to play 4 in a row. You won't need to think about it so much. You won't need to count out loud. It'll just begin to happen, and you just know that it's 4. You'll know that it's 2, and you'll begin to get the feel for it being 8 in a row. And also, you hopefully will be able to anticipate those points at which you change notes. It's quite often the case that we'll want to do 4 in a row, stop, have a think, change note. But eventually you've got to be able to anticipate where you've got to go next. You've got to get all those notes to work evenly and keep going without any stopping. And finally, I would say a great thing to do with this piece, outside of just learning these notes specifically, is to just play around with the idea of playing 2 notes at the same time. You could do anything you like. Literally, I'll give you an idea. Here we go. And I could carry on like that all day. And it's interesting to hear the relationships between the notes. I bet you could find all sorts of nice combination of notes if you have a play around with that idea too. So play around with 2 notes at the same time and try and get the feeling of counting to 2, 4, and 8 with I've Got a Feeling.